Yep, and listen, we're up and running. Live from New York City. Guys there? Mike, looks like you're in.
Yeah, I'm in.
And we have Rosh, is it?
Yeah, Rosh, that works.
Okay, Rosh, that's what's showing up on my Gmail thing. Where are you
Yeah,
from?
that's perfect.
Where are you?
London. London.
London. Where in
Yep.
London? Whereabouts?
Stanmore.
Where's that?
I don't think you've heard of it, but just in London.
No, I used to live in Primrose Hill. I lived in Primrose Hill for 18 months.
Oh, okay, that's good. When was that?
Oh, I want to say about 15, 16 years ago.
Oh, I see, I see.
So
Yeah.
whereabouts are you? What part of London are you in?
What part? North London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while since I've been there. What do you do? What do you do over there, Rush?
I'm a student actually. Just finished my A levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a part-time job.
Cool.
That's nothing much. Nothing interesting really.
Okay. So what's the plan? What's the plan?
For next year, really, I'm actually going to go traveling around South America.
Oh, you're kidding me. Really?
So, yeah, just for 3 months. But yeah, I'm going traveling.
I met a wonderful friend of mine yesterday who just got back from 5 months over. But I actually put it out there. I'm a wide open book. My life is an open book through Facebook. Everyone knows what I'm doing. So
Oh, okay.
next year I'm traveling. I've got a bike ride for 2,500 miles through the west part of US mountain.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
And then I put it out there like who's done the Pan American and down. I want to bike it from Panama City down to Buenos Aires. You go down
Yeah.
on the side and then cut across. So
Yeah.
it's the year after thing that I'm doing. I live up here in. I don't know if you realise I'm speaking now from New York City.
Yeah.
I live in Spanish Harlem, so I'm surrounded by Latinos.
Oh wow.
So, hey,
It's a good sight.
I'm in the zone here. I'm in the zone. Like
You really are. You really are.
Yeah, for some reason I'm drawn to Peru, where a lot of people are. There's something magical about
Yeah. Yeah, I'm planning on going Peru as well.
Yeah, Buenos Aires is a place I want to see. Peru,
Okay.
I've got wonderful friends here in the city that are all from Peru. In fact,
Yeah.
it's almost every night I'm battling my inner soul. I'm being tortured because I'm going like this. Thousands of restaurants, and I go to the same place. You know, I go in there, I don't even order anymore. They just give me the food.
That's awesome.
Because you have the same thing all the time. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bit boring though, right?
Well, you know, I eat more than once a day.
Fair enough.
So how do you know Mike? Is it just text?
No, I don't know him.
You don't know Mike. So okay,
Nope.
right. So let's get going on this.
Just got a couple of messages, Tony. People having trouble with the signing into Google Plus.
All right. Well, they'll jump on when they jump on. You know? So, both of you guys, and so there's a bunch of people as well. So there's two things going on here. There's a live link which you guys are on a panel, which can hold a maximum of 8 to 10 people.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people on another link that are watching. There's a whole bunch of people watching. They can't involve. So where we're at here, I'm right here live now. I'm just going to move. I'm going to not to meet you guys. It's an interactive. Every time you guys talk or make a noise, you pop up on screen. So
Okay.
where we're at here, Mike. I'll give you a bit of background about myself. So I grew up in the UK. Well, I've not really grown up, but you know, I went to school for a while in the UK, and when I left school, I did a few other things, and this, that, and the other. And I ended up in Canada in my early 20s. And my background was school dropout, not a clue what I'm doing, need to make some money. So I end up, like yourself, Ross. I'm just gonna stick you on. If I can do this, I'm just gonna stick you on mute for a second, and we can go. So, and I end up in Canada. So I wanted to travel and I wanted to make some money. When I grew up in the UK, the recession was there. It was bad, and I was surrounded by people who believed in recession. So all I hear is how bad things are, how bad things are, how bad things are, how bad things are. So I got a phone call from a friend that left the UK, moved to Canada. That the streets are paved with gold, everything's wonderful. Da, 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 da. I arrived with Canada, and this sounds like a stereotypical story, but I arrived with $20 in my pocket and a copy of the Times and a suit, getting off the plane, thinking, "Here he is, the savior," And I wasn't. I really struggled. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was early 20s. Thought I was the big I am. I could solve everything. I could fix everything. And the reality was, I picked up a newspaper, a Toronto Star. I found a bunch of ads. I replied to 3 ads. I got 3 interviews. I got 3 jobs. And one of them was, I took the one that paid me cash every day because I was in that situation where I needed cash. And it was selling soft-sided luggage. What I mean by that was gym bags and suit bags and anything soft, not hard luggage. And I went watching a guy, the first day of my training was watching this big Texas guy called Jack, this big Texan guy, who would go into places and say, "Look, we've just finished this show, and here, take a look, they're 80% off." Okay. And I kept asking Jack, "Where's the show? Where's the show? Where's the show?" "Oh, it's down the road." Okay, and I went on blind faith. Next day, I go out my own. Now I don't have a car or anything. Jack had a car, a trunk full of bags. I had to carry all mine. I all day long, from 9 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon. I was just like getting nowhere. I'm carrying these bags. They're dragging me down. My shoulders are slumping. And I'm literally going into places saying, "I don't suppose you'd be interested in anything either, would you?" And at some point, something snapped in my mind, and I just completely lost the plot. I throw all the bags against the wall, and this is on a main street, on a main drag in Toronto, Ontario. Threw the bags against the wall, started jumping on them, kicking them all over the place. So if you were in rush hour back then, I apologize. I wasn't completely insane. I may have looked it to people, and something snapped. But what I remember Jack telling me is, you've got to get the product into the client's hands. But I didn't have enough confidence to do that. I saw Jack doing it, but I went, no, I know what he's doing, but I'm going to do it my own way. And it wasn't working. And I looked back down this road, and I'd walked about 2 miles, and my only thought was, I don't want to walk 2 miles back. I've got no energy. I'm I'm starving, hungry. I literally had 0 in my pocket, and I didn't have bus fare. And I just snapped. And the next place I went in, I threw the bags at this woman behind a counter. So, "Hey, we've just finished the show, 60% off here. Take a look." And I threw them, and it was more because I was frustrated than anything else. And she said, I can't take them all." "All right, just take half, and I'll go next door. I'll take the other half." And she gave me a bunch of cash, and I thought, wow, part of that cash was mine, my commission. I thought, wow, I can get out of here. I can get a bus. I can eat. Next door, went there. "I'm not interested." "That's okay. That's what your neighbour said. Here, take a look." Through the bags again. But my point is, I did that in my early 20s, and I figured it out. But it wasn't a job for me. It wasn't. I didn't feel comfortable. It turns out it was not always made out to be. And then another friend of mine, well, a friend of a friend, I've been in Canada a week or maybe, and so I didn't really know anyone. And a friend of a friend, it was actually the guy that called me, I was sleeping on his couch, said, "I've got this job, this guy, Timmy, and he's got this company, and blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. And I've got your interview for tomorrow." I'm thinking, I can't take a day off. I can't afford to take a day off. And he said, "Well, I've got your interview. Whether you go or not is up to you. The company's 2 weeks old. The guy's a good guy, and I got paid on time when he said it was going to get paid." I took a gamble. I borrowed a car, remember this, a Nissan 240Z, whatever you guys, whatever we call it. And I didn't realise it had no reverse gear. So I'm parking it in spots, going for a coffee, had to push it out the spot, go in this, I get to this place, it's maybe, 45 minutes, an hour's drive away, go into this office, get ushered into his office. This guy looks about 15 in a bad prom suit, sleeves are too long, doesn't fit him, he's on the phone. I've just been ushered into his office in the middle of a phone call. So I'm stood there like I'm in front of the headmaster, and he said, yeah, Cadillac Eldorado, Burritts, yeah, white one, yeah, white leather, yeah, white roof, yeah, you got one? Okay, all right, yeah, I'll take it. And, well, is this guy buying a brand new Cadillac? In my mind. Yeah, I'd say, no, I'll put it on my card. No, I don't need a test drive, just have someone deliver it, that's fine. And blah, 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 puts the phone down, and I thought, yes, I want to work with this guy. I want to work with this guy. This guy looks 15 years old, he's just bought a brand new Cadillac on the phone. Back then I was used to not even going to auctions in the UK. I was used to like waiting outside auctions and buying the cheap crap that's held together with duct tape that would last a month. And I'm going like, oh, I want to work with this guy. I had no idea what he was doing. So, the interview, vaguely I remember it, but it wasn't much of an interview. He said, why do you want to work here? I said, I want to be in your seat doing what you just did. He said, okay, training starts Monday. And that's all I knew. And I'm not going to go through my whole life story here. The job was knocking on doors for commission, selling water filters. This was way before bottled water was even available in the stores. And in Toronto at the time, even now, the water was perhaps not the best. I'll be diplomatic, but no one knew about it. So it was what's called a category creator. He created a category. Water's not great. Here's a solution. And the reality is the water's not great. And now that solution is widespread. So I did that. First week, earned 0. Second week, earned 0. Third week, towards the end of the week, I finally got my first client. Everyone else in my training class had quit by then. So it was me left. But my stubbornness and my persistence, I could see that Cadillac. Just like, this has got to be doable. This has got to be doable. So I went through, got my first client. 2 to 3 months after that, my manager never showed up one day. My manager was a guy we used to call him Big Jim. He looked like a big biker guy. And Tim said, you got to take the guys out today. I said, I can't take the guys. I can't manage the guys. I can't look after the guys. He said, no, you got to do it. I said, I can't do it. He said, well, I'll tell you what. You can take the Cadillac. I went like, oof, okay. Yeah, so I don't know what to do, Tim. He said, just do what Jimmy does. I said, Jimmy doesn't do anything. Okay, just do that and maybe a little bit more. I went out, took the guys out, had the Cadillac. So I'm like in my early 20s in a brand new Cadillac, feeling like the king of Canada. And what happened was a shift. So what happened was I just wanted someone to talk to while I was working. And there's a guy that just started. I have no clue who it is. I can't remember. And I said, why don't you come and just work with me? Why don't you just come and work with me for today? And he said, well, I've got to earn some money. Yeah, I know that. Why don't you just come and watch me? Well, I've got to earn some money. I said, how much you earned yesterday? Nothing. All right. Well, you might earn nothing today, whether you watch me or go on your own. But if you watch me, you might pick something up. I don't know. So this guy watches me, and all of a sudden I got this down to a fine art. I go in the first house. What's supposed to take an hour and a half, I get done in 20 minutes. Boom. Made $600, whatever it was. Next door. Boom. See another 600. Next door. Boom. Another 600. And this guy went like, holy crap. Holy crap. You just spent like $1,000 in no time at all. So yeah, I know. This is why I want to work with someone. Otherwise, if I work on my own, I make like, the 600, I go for a coffee and I break my momentum. And he said, yeah, I want to do this on my own. I said, okay, we'll do one more and then we'll work alternative doors. And we're knocking on doors. And we did that, and then he broke through after like a week or something with 0. He broke through, and the next day someone else wanted to work with me, and the next day someone else wanted to work with me, and the next day within I want to say 2-3 weeks, 70% of the company was working with me and in my team. And at the time I was in my early 20s, and I had I developed a huge ego. I thought I was earning all the money in the world. In reality, it was a couple of thousand a week. And it just then I got promoted, and I get, you know, you can run the province of Quebec. Then my ego went this big; it wouldn't even fit in my head, and you know, the bubble burst on me. I don't know if you can hear that. This is New York. You've got to get the siren every now and again. And the bubble burst. I had to move back in with my dad in the UK. I flew into the UK, called my dad. I had to leave Canada. Can I use your spare room? Yeah, sure. And I got there. Can I borrow 100? Hang on, I thought you were doing well. I thought you had, you know, income coming in. And yeah, I did. Where's it all gone? Oh, I've got some nice clothes, and I've got some great stories about bartenders, and I've been out with loads of beautiful women. Where's the cash? I don't know. So you get a dose of humility. Then a few years later, you know, I had to start again in the UK. I went to a company and was working with the post office, selling ad space. I went to this company. I had to start at ground zero again. They put me with a manager who I thought was an idiot. And, you know, he's telling me, this is what we've got to do, this is what we've got to do, this is what you've got to do. And I just, you know, in my mind, I still had a little bit of that ego. You know what? I used to run the province of Quebec. I used to have a thing. I used to make 6 figures a year. I'm not listening to you. So I tried to do my own thing. Then I went to the owner of the company. And I said, listen, I don't want to do that. I just want to be left alone to do my thing. And I got into a row with him, and I told him he was an idiot. So guess what? I had to find another job the next day. And long story longer, about 2 years after I got back, 3 years after I got back to the UK, I called my buddy Tim, who I used to work with in the water filter business. He said, Tom, you got to get over here. You got to get over here. I went, oh, Tim, I'm good. I've got, you know, in the UK terms, I've got a flat, I've got a car, I've got a TV, it wouldn't be a DVD, it'd be a video recorder back then. I've got, you know, I've got a kettle. I thought I had all of life's goods. He said, Tony, you don't understand. You got to get over here. I said, well, listen, Tim, I'm okay. He said, no, you don't understand. You're not getting it. We're in this new business, and it's expanding fast, and blah, 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 blah. And you get over here, I'm going to team you up with your old pal, your pal Greenie, and you guys are going to open a business, and you're going to do get 2,000 clients a week, and you're going to make $10,000 a week each. And I just felt like, what? No one earns that. No one earns that. So I said, what's the business? And at the time, it was when it was a recession in Canada. It was a recession everywhere. And he was the cheap rate phone call market just opened up. Now it's widespread. We can choose our supplier. But back then, it just opened up. So again, category creator got in the start of something. And basically, long story short, he convinced me to dump everything I owned at 10 cents on the dollar and be in Canada within 2 days, which I did. Then I had no idea what I was doing. I went through a training class for 4 hours. I went out with one of his managers who wasn't great. Next day, that night, I said, like, Tim, you got to put me with the best guy you've got. Okay, you've flown me around the world, you've done this, that, and the other. I need to be with the best guy you've got. I need to go watch him and duplicate it. So I watched this guy called Dr. Ed the next day. Dr. Ed got, you know, 10 new clients. I went, okay, I got this. Then I went out, and first day out there, I got a new client, and I called Tim at the end of the day, and he said, well, that's great. Okay, I got one. And he said, one? Okay, go with your experience, going out and getting one is not good. I said, no, Tim, you don't understand. When, you know, it took me, you know, Tim's worth whatever, hundreds of millions, self-made guy. He does training DVDs. My story of when I started, I found out afterwards, is on his DVDs. I'm named and shamed to tens of thousands of people, which is fine. But it's my story of how I was absolutely useless and they're going to fire me, but I kept showing up every day till I got it. I did the same with that business. I got one. And we had a row over the phone. I said, listen, tomorrow I'm going to get 2. I need you to get 10. 2. I need you to get 10. 2. 2. Next day, 4. On my 5th day, I broke the company record. I got 28 new clients for cheap rate phone calls. And it was a free deal. It was good for them. It was a free deal. They got 25% off their phone calls. Actually, I would have got more. I got 28 in 2 or 3 hours and ran out of paperwork. I never expected to get that many. Ran out of paperwork, couldn't get any more flags. So on the Monday, I said, listen, this is what we're going to do. I'm not building a team in the city. Put me in let's find an office somewhere where I've got no distractions. In Toronto, Canada, you know, I know people, I've got friends, and I go out party. You know, put me somewhere I'm not going to enjoy. So he sticks me in a place called Hamilton, Ontario, which is a rundown old steel town. However, something I didn't know at the time, which I now know, people make more money in recessionary times than any other time in history. Than any other time in history. There's more, you know, the world now economically, I don't know how it is exactly in the UK. My feel is it's not great, but more money is made in recessionary times. When the economy is down, is where the wealth is made. So right now the economy is rocky. I'm here in New York City. I'm in this. You guys don't get this in the city. I'm in Manhattan. We have no clue what's going on in the world here. This is recession-proof. It's booming all the time. Never stops. Kind of like living in parts of London. It just never stops. As soon as we go across the river into America, it's a different thing. But the feel I get, and you know, my life's an open book through social media. The feel I get from different parts of the world is it's not great. There's uncertainty. There's economic uncertainty. There's job uncertainty. There's job instability. No, like what's going to happen next? It literally feels like everyone's looking over their shoulder, waiting for a layoff or a redundancy. That's the feeling I'm getting from the world. But I'm here isolated where everything's booming. You know, it's just like one big party. So I did this thing with Tim. I went back to the UK. I had to do the thing. I went back there, recessionary time, started a business. My first week, you know, as the pay cycle worked, I got paid on one client, which was $20. My 8th week, I made $28,739 for my 8th week. That's about £20,000 for the week. I'm in my early 20s. Guess what happened? I went on a huge ego trip, buying cars and clothes and BS and nonsense and And I took my foot off the gas because it was going to have the momentum. In reality, I had a mental block where I didn't think, you know, people earn more than that. And you know what? A little bit more than that. And reality is, I could have earned double or 10 times. It's not all about money, this. This is a life story that I've learned myself. Is we all have mental blocks. I have one, you guys have one, Bill Gates has one. We all have mental blocks on what we're capable of. And I'm just using monetary as a number, as a measurement, nothing else. We have mental blocks on how fast we can run. We have mental blocks on how far we can walk. We have mental blocks on all kinds of stuff, what we can achieve in life. We have these blocks, like the 4-minute mile and Roger Bannister. You know, the 4-minute mile was a physical impossibility. It couldn't be done. You know, physicians said if you run a mile in less than 4 minutes, your lungs will implode. You will have a heart attack. Roger Bannister, in the 60s, figured out if I could run a quarter of a mile in less than a minute, which he'd done, I can do a 4-minute mile. And that's what he did. He had 4 quarter-minute mile pace guys running next to him every quarter mile. Another guy to step on. He broke the 4-minute mile. But guess what? This thing that was impossible for history, within a year, it was about 20 other people broke the 4-minute mile. There's people now in the 60s broke the 4-minute mile. I don't know what the record is now. It's 3 and change. But it's a block. It's a block. So, moving on from there, a similar business to that, the man that's invited you on here, Mike, I go back to the UK years later. I'm losing my voice, just so you know here, guys. I get a call from Mike. I'm on New York time. I'm 5 hours behind you. I finished at about 4 or 5 this morning. There may have been some vino involved. I was on with the west coast of Canada and the US. And I'm thinking, oh, I've got to lie in. Then my phone's blowing up. It's Mike. We got to do a live hangout. We got to do a live hangout. Yeah, sure, I know. When is it? 15 minutes. What? Crap, man. Crap. I'm still in bed. I've not even set it up. Not done anything. So here we are. And maybe this is why my voice is a bit. You gotta excuse me a second. Is a bit drying out a bit. Hang on. You know, it's funny this. 20 plus years later, I still don't drink tap water after I sold filters. I'm in a hotel, I live in a hotel in New York City, so they won't let me plumb a filter in here for some reason. They're averse to me changing the plumbing. So I go to the UK, and we're in a similar business. Just before the energy markets deregulated, we go to the UK, and what I mean by that is gas, natural gas, electricity. The market now is wide open. You can shop anywhere for it. We went there as a category creator. We knew it was going to open at some point. We went there before it was open, and we started building a business. And people like British Gas and all these companies said, it won't work here. It doesn't matter what you've done in North America. This is England. It's different. So we completely ignored them and went out and did it anyway. 10 months later, they're all trying to buy our business. However, what I will say is, when we started there was skepticism and all the rest of it. And Mike, who's on the call here, started with us at 19 years old. And I didn't quite realize, because I never saw the checks, how much Mike was earning. And within months, Mike got into a category creator business in the 90s. Within months, and he can tell you this himself, was earning £12,000 in a week. Like, just insane. Insane stuff. Why? Got in the right place at the right time. Boom. Category creator. Created a marketplace. Created a market. And you can look at guys like Zuckerberg, or, you know, the what's his name, Mike Dell, or, you know, Gates. You know, Bill Gates, category creator, software. Zuckerberg, social media, category creator. They got in at the right time. So what's going on right now, and I'm going to open this up in a minute, what's going on right now is we have a real category creator going on around the world. A real category creator. Nothing like anything else. And what we're doing now is we've got guys brand new, and I use the term guys, I don't know, I can't remember, you know, it's been a while since I've been in the UK. When I use the term guys, it refers to both sexes, so please don't take it the wrong way. We've got guys in our first month who are in, you know, I'm going to convert this to pounds, as much as £5,000 in the first month, as much as sort of £7,000 to £8,000 in the second month, working with us. So from the UK, which is booming right now, but this is international, it's anywhere in the world, the biggest marketplace in the world is the US. But I'm in the UK. That's fine. You can run a business in the UK, or from the UK in the US. You can earn from the US market while you're sat in the UK. You can earn from your local market. So the business in the US saves families average family in the US over $9,000 a year on what they're already spending. So the half price at the Gap, employee prices at Panasonic or Hewlett Packard. It's over 100,000 places that families in the US can save money. So what we've got here in the UK is around the world, 32 countries, is an absolute phenomenon. I've got guys all over the world that are running a business through the US and sharing that business with their friends. So I've got this whole community pops around the world where the whole community is not only just making money by sharing the business side of it with their friends. You've got a friend, a relative, a neighbor, and you say, you know what, I've got this business, and in the first week, you know what, I don't quite know how it works, okay, but I'm making $1,000 a week out of the US, or £500 a week out of the US, or £250 a week out of the US. Okay, but it's an online business, and all I'm doing is sending a video out to people that contact me. And with the video, they join the program because they can join this program cheap. So where I'm at now is we've got this going on, and I found out about this almost by accident. I was connected through the power of Facebook, which is a wonderful tool, a wonderful tool. When I was very, very hesitant about social media for the first time. I was in the UK, in Manchester, and I actually got on it to track someone down. And all of a sudden, people started finding me. And this is how I ended up back in the US. Is, you know, someone found me that I'd trained years ago. And this guy, you know, from zero, he's down in Texas. He had this business with the energy. I need your help. I got a 3-year-old. My wife just had another baby. I'm flying around Texas all week. I really need your help. I just said, listen, I'm retired. I don't do that stuff. I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. You know, as compassionate as I am, I'm not going to uproot my life for zero. So basically, he sent me a bunch of money. I said, I'll help you out for a couple of weeks. And I spent 9 months in Texas helping him out, building his business. Then I got a free vacation in New York. And then in New York, I ended up with a business. I didn't realize, you know, we had a Wall Street office that was empty. I had to regenerate it and blah, 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 blah. So I ended up in New York. So I ran, you know, world's biggest North America's biggest energy brokerage in New York. That was my gig. And one day I went out for a sandwich and went, nah, I've had enough. Changed my phone number and just vanished. Financially, not the best thing I could have ever done. You know, it was certainly 8 figures I walked away from, but I got my life back. You know, 17, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, no breaks. And I was fine. I was literally one chicken wing away from a heart attack, and you know, borderline alcoholic, having breakdowns. I just went like, enough. So what I'm finding now is there's loads of guys like me out there. It's like, enough of this corporate job. You know, I can't do it. I'm not spending enough time with my kids. I'm not spending enough time doing this. I'm having no fun. I'm just working to pay bills. So, you know, 2 years ago, my main thing was get myself back in shape, which I did. It took me a few months, and all I wanted to do, I took the summer off and wandered around New York and explored New York City, because I'd been here a year and I hadn't seen anything. Sat in my office all the time. So I went exploring. And then when I got in shape, by default, people were asking me how I did it, and I told them by default, as part of a business that was actually owned by the original guy that hired me to sell water filters. So I got in that business and built that business, and it was good, but it's very seasonal. The fitness, health and fitness industry. January, everyone's got a New Year's resolution. March, people are trying to get in shape for bikinis 3 months down the line. Then nothing till September, where people are just trying to get in shape before Christmas. So did a few years with that, got out of it, and I was at a situation in end of May, early June, where I was, I knew there was something else. There was something out there. And this friend of mine, through Facebook, he was referred by someone else a few years ago. This friend of mine in British Columbia, Canada, I'm watching him. I'm having all the people that work with me watch this guy. I said, this guy's social media. This guy's social media is great. There's something about it. And all of a sudden, something clicked, because the guy that referred me to him, I'd met through Facebook 4 years ago. He lives in British Columbia, which is the west side of Canada. I'm probably closer to you guys than I am to him, physically. 2 years later, we discovered we went to the same school together. Not together, he's a few years older than me. Went to the same school in Manchester. I'm like, how bizarre. And once a year he's in New York, and we had breakfast. In fact, he was here last week, so we went out and had a good time last week. But he connected me with this guy. So my great friend in the west side of Canada, I went to school with a guy called Dov Barron, who's a wonderful guy. He has all kinds of stuff going on. He's a leadership guru. He consults with businesses. He's been on TV, all this stuff. There's wonderful people out there all over the planet. And then he refers me to another guy, Darren Little. You should connect with this guy. So well, it's all about just connecting with people. And it's so easy now with social media, as we're doing right now. We're connected. Mike reconnected with me through Facebook. So this guy Darren, I'm kind of watching what he's doing, and I kept seeing this thing going, how I made 150,000, more than that, 150,000 with a couple $100 investment in 12 months. That's good. I see it again. Well, that's good. I see it again. Oh, that's good. That's good. And one day I pick up the phone, because we used to chat, every 2 or 3 months he'd call, and just reach out, touch base, say hello. Never about business. Never trying to sell me anything. Just shoot the shit. Yeah, okay, doesn't matter. So it's a life hangout. I can say what I want. And that was it. And one day I called and said, "What's this deal you do? What's this gig you've got going on?" Couple $100 in, and you pull 150,000 out in the first month. And I had to draw the information out of him. I was expecting, I didn't want to ask him because I thought he was going to try and sell me something, which I hate. And in reality, this has been my biggest shift. I'm from a world where I've trained maybe 100,000, well, certainly over 100,000 people how to sell stuff, whether it was over the phone, knocking on doors. So I have that reputation in life with people that knew me as when they hear from me, they straight away think I'm going to try and either recruit them or sell them something, which I just don't do now. For someone to get in business with me now, or someone to ask, and you see my Facebook page there later on, Rush, people look at my Facebook page, I get 10, 20 people a day asking, what do you do for a living? I can't figure it out at all. It seems to me you hang out in coffee shops, restaurants, bars, Central Park, go for walks, while everyone else is working, and you never appear to do any work. The reality is, my work and Mike's is not like other people's. So what we are, if you had to label it, international recruiters and talent scouts. We look for people to build businesses with, to go into partnership with. But we don't look for them as far as scouting them. We look for, or harassing them or pitching them or anything like that. We look for the right fit. So it's something that I heard the term last week called attraction marketing. If you're doing something right, people will come to you. So what's happening now is people are coming through and coming in through what we're doing, what we're putting out there. So we go into a business, and the business is a self-development business. However, the clients in the US get, for a couple $100 in it's actually less than that right now, with something on for the next 10 days, get average family 9,000 change reduction on what they're already spending, whether it's clothing, medical, movies, computers, it's regular groceries, day-to-day stuff. So that's where we're at right now. So that's what we've got going on. So right now, we're looking for people that want to run a US business. There's 300-400 million people here that need what we have. They want to run a US business internationally and create themselves a second income, a plan B. Create a plan B. So it doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter how great your plan A is. The way the world is at the moment.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
That's all right. I'll get you there. The way the world is at the moment, it doesn't matter how great your plan A is. Technology and things are moving so fast. You've got to put you on mute there. I'm going to bring you into this conversation in a second, Ross. So let me put you on mute.
Okay, not an issue.
Yeah, all right. So it doesn't matter how great your plan A is. You could have the best job in the world. You could be making $1 million a year. However, with things shifting so fast and technology shifting so fast, we don't know what's going to get announced next week. And all of a sudden, I could be in a job where what I'm doing is defunct. I remember years ago, I think it was Fiat. People used to build cars by hand. Fiat built a robotic factory. Boom, job gone. Now it's normal. Now it's normal. So we don't know. So we got to have a plan B. Or, you know, Ross, you're very much like myself. Okay, I'm at that point now where I want to travel just the rest of my life. I've had enough. I've had businesses, things have been great. I spent 8 years traveling. We've had a business. Boom, spent 8 years traveling. It was great. But now I realize what I had put aside was not enough to last me the rest of my life traveling. Because traveling, listen, I'm not sleeping in tents. Okay, now and again maybe, but I like room service. So I realize I've got to build a bank of money. So that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm creating something. Well, I'm not creating it; it's already created. But I'm building a business for myself that pays me every single month. So that's where we're at right now. So I'm not going to go into the business side of it, but what I know is if I can go from $20 a week to $28,739 a week in 8 weeks, I can show other people how to do that, and they can do that, and everyone wins, including the end user. So for me to earn $28,739 a week, what that meant was I had a whole bunch of people in my team that were earning between $2,000 and $5,000 a week. I had tens of thousands of clients that were all saving 30% or whatever it was on their phone bills. Everyone won. Everyone won. So it's the same situation now. As a category creator, we've got something going on here. So we can build a business anywhere in the world, and we show you how to capture the US market. There's 300-400 million people here. 300 or 400 million people. I can't see them. I can't see them. Me and Mike can't see them. Me, Mike, and you, Rush, can't see them. Can't see them all. Maybe 10, 20,000 of us can get around to helping these families. There's an issue here in this country. 80% of people are in financial uncertainty. An interesting statistic I heard last week. The majority, something like 80% of divorces wouldn't happen if the families had an extra $400 a month coming in. So the pressure and the stress of financial everything that it puts on, and it's the same anywhere else in the Western world. If someone had an extra £100 a week coming on as a family, it takes the pressure off. You know, just to say like to your husband, to your wife, let's go out for dinner tonight. You know, it's the same anywhere else. It doesn't matter if it's Jamaica, it doesn't matter if it's France, it doesn't matter. It's the same, and this is not all about money. This is about life. However, money makes life easier. You want to go traveling? Money makes it a whole lot easier. I went traveling around Asia with 12 other guys who were always watching the pennies, and I had an income stream coming in. So, you know, literally, I was paying for, you know, dinners and everything. And I said, listen, guys, just pay me back. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm covered. Because I've got an income stream. I just go to an ATM and pull a load of cash out, and then we go again. And like, don't worry, we're not keeping track here. Pay me when you pay me. Okay. In reality, most never paid me because most of them are working, you know, and I use the term 9 to 5 jobs. Doesn't matter what the hours are, but jobs. And it was never going to get ahead. But I wanted these guys to go to Southeast Asia. I wanted them to have at least a good time and not just see me having a good time. So, you know, I didn't finance the trip, but I helped out with these guys. And you know what? Some of them paid me back and some of them didn't. It didn't really matter. It didn't really matter. What it was I had an income stream constantly coming in. So once a week, you know, I go to the ATM and it'd been topped up again. It just kept getting topped up every week. Topped up, topped up. I'm in that situation right now. So right now, I'm in a New York City hotel. Now, I've lived in New York for, I don't know, 3-4 years, and I choose to live in a hotel now. It suits me. Okay, it suits me. It suits the way I live. Last winter was freezing cold here, and I had a lease, an apartment, and, you know, I was stuck with it. This time, if it starts snowing, I'll tell you right now, if it starts snowing in the next 10 minutes, I'm packing my bags, I'm out of here. I'm going to the airport and just getting a flight south. Okay, I'm not doing that winter stuff again. Enough with the winter. So this is why I choose to live like this. But what I do know is January the 1st, I'm done. So between now and January the 1st, I'm building businesses for people, and sure, I benefit from those businesses, but I'm working my ass off. Right now, this weekend, Labor Day weekend, I finished 4 a.m. Sunday morning, Saturday, Sunday morning, dealing with the west coast of the US and Canada on the phone 2 hours later, I'm back on the phone with a guy in Manchester and another guy in Scotland. And this weekend, there was a reason for this weekend, I worked my ass off. Why? We had a massive shift in business on Monday night, and I knew I had to get as many people onto a hangout as possible. And it was maybe 1,000 people watching the hangout, where all of a sudden we went, you know what, we used to do at this amount of money is now this amount of money for 2 weeks. We just did a deal like create momentum, because this time in a business like ours, this time of year, people get into Christmas mode. Crap, you know what, I've got to buy Christmas presents, I've got to buy this, I've got to do this. They're in Christmas mode. So there's two things to that. We get people, you know, huge discounts of anything they're buying for Christmas. Number one, so the consumer market is ready. Number two, the corporate market. If you've got a business, we can help you get maybe $100,000 a year extra marketing money with press releases and come in and spend $200 and we give you a trip to Vegas for a weekend for a couple $100. Certificates, bonuses, things like this. So the corporate market is ready. But more, not more importantly, but as importantly, I don't celebrate holidays or things like that. My life's pretty much a holiday. It's pretty damn good. However, people have got like, crap, you know what, it's that time of year again, I've got to make some dough. So what I'm finding right now is we've got people in transition, we've got, people who come to me at 2 points in their life. They're in transition, so either, their job's shutting down, or this is happening, or they just got divorced, or they're expecting a layoff, or whatever, or they've just had enough. They've had enough, and I know, at a certain age we don't get it, but once you've been in that corporate culture for a while, all of a sudden it consumes you. I was doing 17, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week in my own business. I know Mike was the same sort of thing. I had no life at all. And one day you just go, right, enough, I'm out of here. What am I going to do? No clue. But this is not, I've got one life, I'm not spending it in an office. I want to enjoy my life. I love traveling. I love traveling. I've been not all over the world, but I've lived all over Southeast Asia, Europe. I just love traveling. So next year, January the 1st, I'm out of here. I'm heading south down to Key West, 3 months, unwind, and then I'm going biking down the Pacific Crest Trail, 2,500 miles down the west coast of Canada. I'm going to go hang out in California, and Oregon, and Seattle. I'm going to see those places, and Sedona, and all. I'm just going to go exploring for a year. I'm going to listen. As long as I've got Wi-Fi, I can do whatever I need to do. That's the age we're in right now, and I'm finding people are just the same. They want to live their lives. They don't want to be stuck in a factory or an office or behind a desk till they're 65 years old and get a gold watch and say, thanks for your service, you've got another 10 years to live. Enjoy. What's that about? Who does that? It's insane. Okay, there's a huge world out there. What the hell are we doing living someone else's goals and dreams? We've got our own. So this is a tool, this is a vehicle that allows me to say, January the 1st, I'm out of here. What's your plan? My plan? I'm going to pack 2 carry-on bags. I'm going to book a flight. I'm going to go to Key West. I'm going to chill out for whatever, 2, 3, 4 months. And then my plan somewhere around, May, I'm going to fly west. And in between that, I might go somewhere else, I've not been to Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii. I've got friends in Hawaii. Come to Hawaii. Maybe I fly to Hawaii. It doesn't matter. And I'm not telling this as a show-off thing. I'm telling this as a freedom thing. It's in the world right now. If someone's in a business that's not online, they're an idiot. That's it. Because we've got a global marketplace with 1 billion people. What the hell am I doing in a business while I'm working around a local community with 20,000, 50,000, even 1 million people? Why am I restricting myself? There's 1 billion people out there on the planet. So I would, if my marketplace is 1% or 0.1% or 0.01% or 0.01%, if I'm in my area of 100,000 people, I'm going to struggle. If there's 1 billion people out there, I don't even care. I don't even care. Okay? Because when I get into business with someone, It doesn't affect me. It affects them. Because, I mean, as emotionless as this sounds, when I get into business with people, then I get the connection. Then there's the emotion. But outside of that, I don't know how it is. And I'm helping them. So, years ago with Mike, and I first met Mike in Manchester, I had no idea how it was. Then when I hear how well he did, then there's a connection. And I see years later, he was 19 at the time. Now he's a family guy with kids. And I see him now going from a guy that was working, 40 hours a day, 7 days a week, to now a guy that spends his time with his kids. And I know I'm spying on your Facebook, Mike, but that's fine. It's good. Okay, enjoy. When I see this shift, that's what I get out of it. Okay, money's a byproduct of doing the right thing right. This last weekend, everyone in my team looked like they were out partying, enjoying it, family times, in the pool. I was the guy actually busy, which is fine, because that's what I do, because we have a team here, and sometimes there's things I need to do to help everyone else do what they got to do. So while Mike's in Scotland partying, and while other guys are sat by the pool, and I'm watching all these pictures down Facebook going, these guys are having a great time, I'm sat here on the phone, 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, 2 hours later getting up. But that's fine, because I'm doing this for 6 months, and I'm out of here. Then you can watch my pictures. Well, you guys do that anyway, but you can watch all my stuff. That's fine. Okay. I understand category creators. I understand how I went from $20 a week to $28,739 a week in just 8 weeks. Why? We're a category creator. I understand that we built a business on the back of a business collapse. We built another one that is now I literally set precedents in the security industry in Canada. We blew the 2 biggest companies out the water from zero in 10 months by coming up with an idea and a category creator. And then we did it again and did it in the UK with another category creator. So in the words of, I'll give you a Brit, Jimmy Goldsmith, Sir James Goldsmith, billionaire philanthropist who has passed away now, one of his great quotes is, if you can see a bandwagon, you're already too late. When everyone in when people in the UK were jumping in the energy market, we'd already sold our business. We'd moved on. We were a category creator. And that's what we're doing now. We're a category creator. We're ahead of the curve. So that's where the wealth is made, is being ahead of the curve. And the economy has nothing to do with anything. And I will tell you this, the UK, and I'm saying this because there's a few of you on here from the UK, and I'm aware of that, and possibly it's because of the time of day. The UK has this thing where everyone's like, no, it won't work, 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 it doesn't work here, this is the UK, you don't understand, it won't work here, it won't work here. Oh shit, crap, I got to get in this thing. And it goes, boom, instantly. And there's businesses in the UK that are doing it right now. So the vibe is, and this is, I'm just using the country in general, the vibe is, once they have proof, once there's social proof out there, once there's fiscal proof out there, all of a sudden, everyone wants in, instantly. Instantly. More so than North America. North America, it's more like this. And then it goes. UK is, that's it. Once, I know with Mike, I'm going to open this mic up, the thing up to you guys. I know with Mike, as soon as he started making money, his brother jumped on board. I want a piece of this. It was a totally different business. I want a piece of this. You guys on this call, if your next door neighbor right now was in a business, you thought, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, next one's going to work, and all of a sudden, he's making a couple of £1,000 a week, guess what? You go, wow, what's he doing? I want my piece. And that's what happens. That's what happens in the UK. That's what happens in a lot of countries. But the UK specifically is, won't work. Shit, boom, gone, I'm in. And that's where we're at. So I'm not specifically discussing the call right now on here. Not the call, the business right now on here, because whoever invited you to this, get back in touch with them, and they'll send you a video. What we don't do in our business, what we absolutely don't do, is try to sell you stuff. What we do is send you a video, and you watch the video and you go like, one of three things. Nah, it's not for me, or I'm gonna go do my homework, or for the most part, it's like, holy crap, I gotta jump on this now. I gotta get in this now. Click, go, done. So, whoever invited you to this, get them back on. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to open this up. So, Rosh, I'm going to open your mic up there. And Mike, Mr. Melvin, unmute yourself. We're wide open here, guys. I got to tell you, I did this on 15 minutes notice. So, even though I've got a shirt on, I may have a towel around me below. No, I'm not standing up. I did 15 minutes, set up a hangout, got a shower, boom. So, Rosh, you there? Rosh, are you off mute? You're off mute. Oh, hang on. Why can't I get you off mute? Rosh, can you hear me? Can you? I can't even see you there. I'm trying to unmute you. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Mike, I'm going to put you on.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, you just mute yourself.
Rosh, are you open there?
Everyone's muting each other.
Everyone's muting each other, so it's down to you, Mike. So, Mike, here's the thing. You trying to tell me to shut up, Rosh? You keep it moving. So, Mike, here's the thing. You started working with us years ago in another business. And you came in probably with no idea what was going on, not knowing how to do it. And, you know, watched and learned. I believe back then it was probably Kelly who maybe explained you. And you went from what? You went from zero to what? What was your best week again?
Just over £12,000.
£12,000. And you were what? 19 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
So at 19 years old, we'll say this again slowly for those who are not quite grasping this. At 19 years old, no, I'm you,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. At 19 years old, you were earning £12,000 per week from zero, and correct me if I'm wrong, in months, not years, in months. Have I got that right?
Yeah, about 5 months after.
Okay. So what we're doing now is the same thing. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. However, it's not a 10-year marathon. It's not until you're 5 years old marathon. So typically what we do is, same as myself, we love this business. And I mean, I started out very quick. But the next side of the business is helping you guys do what I did, but even quicker. So, you know, I'm not one of life's fast learners. I'm kind of methodical. I break it down like for me, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, I've got that bit. What's the next bit? I've got that bit. What's the next bit? I've got that. And I just listen. Whenever I got something I don't understand, I call Darren. What happens when this happens? Okay, when that happens, right? Okay, I've got that bit. So it's like a jigsaw puzzle. And all of a sudden, I go, poof, okay, I've got the whole puzzle in. So where we're at here, what we do here is take someone from zero to a 6-figure annual income, typically between 60 and 90 days. But this is like having a Rosh is back. Are you there, Rosh? Can you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the route there. We got you on. So what we do is we take people from zero to a 6-figure annual income, 60 to 90 days. and then it increases. So sometimes, like if you've got a corner shop, corner store, where if you know you're taking in 2,000 a day, and your first hour of the day you're taking in 100, and then for 2 hours you're taking nothing, you don't close a corner store. Because you know you're always taking 2,000 a day. You keep doing the thing because it's got peaks and troughs and all the rest of it. And you know at lunchtime all of a sudden, boom. And then for the rest of the day it's flying. So for the first few hours you might be putting your stock out, you might be labeling, you might be it's the same in this industry, it's the same in this business. We build it, and once it's built, I mean yesterday was just insane. I found this meme maker app thing, and I put a meme out there. So the reality is this: from now, I'm just trying to convert this to pounds for one of you guys in the UK. What was a £250 startup on Sunday is all of a sudden a £60 startup 24 hours later. But that's only for a week or so. But the reality is this: you start a business now. I will build a business for you in 3 to 4 days. Not in 2 weeks, in 3 to 4 days. I will do stuff like this. So Ross, you're looking at this now, and I want to get back with Mike afterwards. You might say, I'm going to travel next year. I need a... In fact, Ross, I'm going to offer you this. I'm going to offer this up to you. You there?
Okay. Yeah.
So you're traveling. Okay. To do what you want to do you have a budget in mind?
Yeah, of course. I'm a student still, so any student would have a budget anyway. But
Yeah.
So I'm looking to spend just about, say, 3,000
Over how long is that?
for 3 months.
Okay. So 250 a week.
Yeah,
Right.
which includes accommodation, food, alcohol, obviously, and just anything I want to do, like some skydiving or going to museums or anything.
Okay.
It should include it all.
I don't know the prices there. I know it's fairly inexpensive, but as soon as you start doing the tourist stuff, like you say, the skydiving, the museums, that's where they get you. So same in New York City. It's cheap to live unless you do the tourist stuff, and it's horrendous.
Yeah, exactly. It is incredibly a massive rip-off. Like, even in the UK, going to see sightseeing like the London Eye and just to go on the London Eye, it will cost you £30 for like a 15-minute round the London Eye. It's crazy.
I don't know what it is to go to the Empire State, but I guess it's about the same. It's probably about $50, $40.
There you go. And it's crazy, but you have to do it because you're in that country to explore, so you just got to do it.
It is something for you. Any New Yorker that I know has never been up the Empire State, never been to the Statue of Liberty, and definitely doesn't own an I Love New York t-shirt. Okay?
Yeah, it's true. Me being from London.
But they all do know how to get the best deals when happy hours are 24/7.
Yeah.
Anyone who lives there knows where a happy hour is in any particular district. Oh, where are we? We're in the Upper West Side. Oh, you know what? Hang on, let me text you. Where's the best happy hour? I'll go to this place. Boom. So when you live in a place, you know how to look after your money. But I gotta tell you, that's kind of a tight budget, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Where are you planning to go exactly?
As in South America, but I'm gonna start backpacking around. So yeah, I'll be living in like hostels and just crappy little apartments, really. But just backpacking. I'm not planning it in a way that it's going to be. I'm following a schedule. I'm just going to be booking my flights there and just around each of the little countries and then back.
Wow. How old are you? Did you say 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
19. So where are you planning your flight to?
I haven't actually done my research. I'm not just in the process of doing it just to see how much roughly it's going to be, like how much the flight's going to be, all the accommodation, just before I fully plan it. And because it's mainly for adventure, like I want to do a lot of adventure stuff over there, like skydiving, scuba diving, bungee jumping. I'm trying to plan it in such a way that like I do all of that first.
That is cool. That is fantastic. And you know, last night I was, you know, I've got friends from, you know, I live in Spanish Harlem, which is not Spanish Spain. It's I literally live in Latin America in the middle of New York City. So I have, you know, my friends are like Ecuadorian, Colombian, Mexican, Peruvian. I love it. I love it. And next year I'm doing this big bike ride down the west coast of the state. And there's actually a trail that runs from Alaska all the way down to the bottom of South America. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm not going to do all that in once. I want to see the west of the states next year. But what I also need to do that is I need to be able to go to an ATM that's never empty, to a bank machine that's never empty. Going to a hotel because I've had a tough bike ride and I don't want to sleep in a tent. And you know what? Tonight I'm going to hotel with room service. I need to chill out. So I need to be in that situation where I don't even care. You know, the finances take care of themselves. If I want to go skydiving, if I want to go bungee jumping, or anything like that, I'm not going like, can I afford to do this? I'm in a place in the world where this wonderful experience is right here, right in front of me. I don't want to be thinking about, can I afford to do it? Because if I can't and I miss it, and that opportunity may never happen again for the rest of my life.
Yeah, precisely that.
So like not next year, when I'm already all the way down the west coast of, there's a trail that runs all the way down the west coast of Pan America towards Chile. Now Chile, it cuts across to Buenos Aires and then it goes down to the bottom again. And you know, my Facebook a couple of days ago, I put the map on there and says, anyone actually done this? And there's guys that saying, I'll do it on a motorcycle. I want to pedal it. I want to pedal it. When I get to the bottom, I'll dump the bike and get a motorcycle and ride back. That's my thing. And although it's very dangerous, it's adventure to be lived. So I've actually decided January 1st next year, that's it, I'm done. I'm just traveling. I'm just going to travel the rest of my life. I don't need anything. I don't need a foundation. You know, if it doesn't fit in 2 carry-on bags, I thought, I don't need it. I don't need it. So that's my thing, but to do that, I also need a stream of cash coming in weekly. I'm not doing it off savings. I'm not looking for savings to do it. So here's the situation, Rosh. Just think about this. All these things you want to do.
Yeah.
If you could do them with not worrying about the money, and you didn't have to sleep on the ground, or, you know, there's nothing wrong with hustling, that's great, and it makes absolute sense. And it's also a great adventure, it's a great adventure for people. It doesn't matter how many millions you might have in the bank, the hustling journey is fantastic. The things where, you know, the zip slides, or the bungee jumping, or the skydiving, and it's $50 or, you know, £50, and you go, okay, rather than, well, hang on, let me just do the math here. You know what? I'll watch someone else do it. So, when you planning on going?
Around February, March, April time. Like February, and then I'll come back in April, May.
Let me ask you this, and I'm deadly serious here. Okay? Let's put this back to Mike in a second. If you had 10 figures a month, 10.
Sorry, say that again?
If you had 10 figures a month coming in consistently, you're talking about 6 months down the road. Okay? We've got guys in the team that do this within 2 months. So I'm just giving a big barrier here. If you had 10 figures a month coming in, how long would you stay traveling for?
Oh God, then I would go for 6 months, really.
That's all. That's all.
6 months, definitely. Yeah.
I'm guessing at least.
Yeah, I think maximum would be 6 months, because then I would want to come back, and I do want to go university.
Okay. Cool.
But this is just one of my many dreams. Obviously, I'm so young. yeah, this is my gap year, and so in this gap year, it's what I wanted to do is go traveling,
Okay.
and so
You know your gap year
it's
can
just
last
one of my many dreams.
What other dreams do you have, Ross?
Obviously, I want to buy a car. I want to get my own, like my own house.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do. Is traveling, I can do that afterwards as well. I want to explore the rest of the world. This is just South America, and for 6 months, that's a very long time.
Yeah, my friend Emily's just come back from doing that, but she was mainly based in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
But yeah, your gap year. I don't know if you know the legalities of this. The legalities are your gap year can actually last more than a year. Okay, you can do 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, and then go back to university. Okay?
Oh God, but
We
that
have
would
to
be
limit it.
extremely late. To go back to university that late, that's not the ideal thing.
You know what? You might
You
say,
want to be
you know
going,
what?
you want to be going to university while there's people still your age. As they say, you make your best friends while you are at university. Maybe this is just me being at the age of 19, saying that.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. That's what I find. That yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you. What I found out was that I never went to university. Okay, I went to a great school in Manchester. I went to a grammar school. I dropped out of it. It wasn't for me. I just didn't. I wanted to go explore. I wanted to find things. I wanted to live my life. And university is fine for certain things, and it suits certain people. It just wasn't for me personally. I had no desire to do it. I had desire, and what I found is I met my best friends in my life. I've met through traveling. I've got wonderful friends in Canada who are people. Sometimes you meet someone, Ross, and it's just like you don't like them. It's like that. It's
Yeah.
else. But sometimes in your life you meet people and it just goes, and you feel like that bond is inseparable. And you don't know what it is. It's your vibrational energy. It's your resonance. It's something. What we call law of attraction. There's something there. And then, that's it. And I've got friends like that all over the world. Where I remember a wonderful friend of mine called Greg who lives in Toronto, Canada. Really, really close to be a friend of mine. And when I moved away from Toronto, I remember him saying, it was maybe not when I was moving, but I remember him saying one day, he said, you know what, when Tony vanishes, which I do, I go traveling, we'll meet again 10, 15 years later, and it will be like tomorrow. There'll be no gap. And he found me through Facebook 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and straight away, we're on the phone, and we had a phone call for maybe 2-3 hours. I'm telling you, Rush, I don't think I've cried so much in laughter as that phone call. Greg, remember the time we did this? Oh man, just like boom. One of my great friends in the world, but I met him because I was traveling, and I've got friends in Southeast Asia. Just 2 weeks ago, I'm in a bar in Seoul 2 weeks ago, and I'm over to these 2 old guys. They're chatting away to themselves, and all of a sudden, this kind of New York thing put into people's conversations. I heard them say Phnom Penh, and I said, I overheard you there. I used to live in Phnom Penh. This guy looks at me and said, yeah, I know, I got locked in a bar with you for 3 days when it was all uprising in Cambodia. Don't you remember? I said, okay. I got locked in a bar for 3 days. Of course I don't remember. But I met this guy who lives in New York that I knew from Cambodia. You meet these people traveling in the world. I know lots of friends that do this stuff. Very often they do it later in their life, and their closest friends are not the ones they work with in the office. And not necessarily the ones they went to school with, they're the ones that found in life's journey and life's path. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's what we do. So I'm not trying to be one way or another, but I will tell you this. Traveling is so much more fun when you're not counting your pennies. Sometimes you're in a situation where, you might be in, I'm just trying to think of places where in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. So I'm in a place and I booked into a hotel, and the hotel wasn't very good. I'm being very diplomatic. It wasn't very good. So the guys that are there decide, you know, it's not very good. It's horrible. It's like, okay, I'll say there was a brothel on the top floor. And it was just like noise and people coming through and it stunk and all the rest of it. I said, you know, I need some sleep. I can't stay here. So I just go to the hotel next door and check in there, and it's 5 times the price. It's not me saying I've got all the money in the world. This is me saying I was the only one with the ability to say I need to have to do. This is what I do. I'm traveling and enjoying myself here. I'm not going to wake up without sleep, stressed out, whatever. The next day. And then all of a sudden, you know, like, guys are supposed to I don't know what, I can't remember if I'm going home. I'll change my flight, I have to take my flight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just like, literally having access to the vault. And you've got a constant income stream coming in, week after week after week, and you're not actually doing anything because what you've done is you've built it beforehand. You understand what I mean, Rosh?
Yeah, I do. I get it.
You built it beforehand.
Yeah.
It still pays you beforehand, but it just keeps coming. So even if I'm not doing anything, if I'm skydiving or whatever, I'm not worried that I've got to be on my phone with my business partner. There's no Wi-Fi. And I'm starting to get to that point now. However, I gave myself a commitment that I was going to build this until the end of the year, and then I'm out of here. I'm going traveling. I'm going to plane. You can't reach me. I'm not on a post. So what I'm going to do, Mike, I'm just going to open you up here. Any closing comments?
No, you've covered it all there. I'll send the video link then over to Rosh, so she can see them how the company, how they work.
Yeah.
And really that's it, you know, even someone with little or no experience. There are 2 main reasons why I got involved with this business. Is one, that you don't have to know how to sell. So even though my background was in sales, this then is just connecting with people, it's chatting with people, it's just what we do every day alone. And just letting the company then, you know, in effect sell itself. If people want to get in, they get in. If they don't, they don't. You just move on. The other main reason is people like myself, there's happy people.
There's some noise popping up, Mike. So I'm gonna wrap this. But those guys watching, and everyone else, and people see this on rerun, you know, if you want to get in touch with me, just type Tony Cohen, see what you do on Facebook, I'm usually on the top, Mike Melvin, or, you know, YouTube, the real Tony Cohen. I'm wide open. I'm usually enough to climb. Okay? So, right now, because Mike woke me up out of bed, the first line I've had in weeks. Normally I wake up at 5 every morning. Today, for whatever reason, I didn't. I guess it was the weekend catching up with me. Today I didn't. All of a sudden my phone's going, it's like, we've got to hang out in 15 minutes. Oh man, I'm in bed. Hang on, let me set this up. Let me jump in the shower. Let's go. Let me put a shirt on, because apparently doing hangouts topless is frowned upon, apparently. But I got to get breakfast, guys. Seriously, I need a coffee. So thank you so much for joining. Rosh, it was wonderful chatting with you. I love people that love traveling. I could chat with you 24/7 about, and South America is my next great adventure. I'm doing this, you know, I'm doing the States next year. I'm traveling around the States next year because I'm here. I'm just going to do it. South America is my next great adventure. So who knows? We may be jumping out the same plane together one day.
We might be. You never know.
If you get pushed out the plane, it will probably be me. Just letting you know.
I can't wait.
Guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna wind this up. So from Spanish Harlem, from El Barrio itself, in New York City. The real Tony Cohen is checking out. Be safe, guys.